All right, so this next video, I'm responding to a message that was left to me on my website. It brings me no pleasure to report on this, but I did get an email from Micah from Cali, and it says, "What do you want an honest opinion on? What honest opinion do you want to share?" And he says, "Can you react to the Shannon Sharpe lawsuit situation?" And yes, I can. So obviously I had to do a little research so I can kind of understand what the fuck is going on. I did see a couple things on social media, so I had to dig into it a little bit more. And so what I'm going to do is put on the screen what I saw, and I'm going to give you my take on it in real time. All right. So first up is the audio recording that he had with his ex-girlfriend, who was being called Jane Doe here. So apparently, for those who don't know, I guess Shannon Sharpe's ex-girlfriend is filing a lawsuit against him. She's claiming that he used to abuse her and that he also raped her. If you guys know what that means. And apparently her attorney leaked an audio tape of a conversation between her and Shannon Sharpe. So I'm going to go ahead and play that first. Then I'm going to follow up with the Shannon Sharpe's response to that. So let's go ahead and get the recording teed up.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just going to get mad at and you're just going to hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet.
So for starters, I just want to say, who the hell is recording a phone call unless they're planning on using it at some point in the future? This isn't something I would not expect my girlfriend or you, if you're a woman, should you expect your boyfriend to be recording your phone calls? And what legitimate purpose would they have for doing that? So I just want to get that out there.
You want to be a bitch to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well,
now that long pause you're hearing, that's not me. That's not my audio. This is what they put out to the public. And when I say they, I mean the ex-girlfriend and her attorney.
I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
I don't know.
All right, so that's the end of that. So I'm just going to respond to this. It sounded like at the beginning that they were having a little argument and he threatened to choke her. I was paying attention to the background noise and it seems to keep changing. So anybody who's ever recorded a video or edited a video, you notice the background noise, and when it changes and you hear a little, that means it's been clipped and cut. So I don't know if this is just the full video or at least the portion is just continuous, or if it's something that's been kind of chopped up and edited. I don't know. But then towards the end, when he's talking about choking her again, the way she responded to it, I don't know. I did see some text messages that Shannon Sharpe put out, and it seems like they kind of have a sub-dom relationship. For those who don't know, you got a submissive person and a dominant person in some type of, where one person dominates the other one sexually. So I don't know if this is a part of how they play with each other, pause, or if he was really talking about choking her, and it was just kind of strange to me. So that was the end of that. And so what you're seeing on the screen right now is Shannon Sharpe about to respond to that.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right.
All right, so he says this is a shakedown. So let me just say this, right? So I was talking to one of my female friends, and I said, she has a boyfriend. He's just a regular Joe Blow, working a regular job. And I said, what if he beat you up and raped you? What would you do? She said, I would call the police. That was her first response. So I'm wondering, in this case, is there a corresponding police report to go with the $50 million lawsuit? Because if there's only a lawsuit, then in my mind, my judgment leads me to believe that this is some type of shakedown as opposed to an actual crime that took place. But that's just me. Let's continue.
This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape.
Now, see, that part I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that he referenced the attorney in his lawsuit against Jay-Z. And I didn't like the part where he says this attorney targets black men. Now, both of those can be true, but the way I interpret that is like he's pandering. He's in the court of public opinion, and he wants to galvanize black support behind him. So let me just throw out Jay-Z. Let me throw out that this man, targets black people. And so this is a way to get black people behind me without really, looking at this in a nuanced way. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look at this in a nuanced way. I've stated that I think it might be a shakedown. But at the same time, when you start pandering, not saying that makes you guilty, but I do see what the fuck you're doing.
That tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down.
No, I like that. I do like if you feel like that you haven't done anything wrong and someone comes at you and they're trying to, what you would consider extort you, I do think you should file a countersuit, which is what he's doing.
Now, my career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, that's it. So I would just say, based on the information that's public right now, I do think it does look bad for Shannon Sharpe in that recording that I played where he's talking about choking her in the beginning. It does come across as he's saying that out of anger. But, listening to what he's saying, it sounds like it was a conversation that they had that she kind of put together. I don't know if that's true or false. But I could see a circumstance in which, maybe he does beat her butt. And maybe they have a situation where he talks to her crazy because, so I don't know. I think that, in that recording that I played, I think that at the beginning he did sound kind of angry, but then towards the end, I could see that being a part of their role playing, if you will, for lack of a better term. But I think the thing that stands out to me the most is the fact that she's suing him for $50 million. Now, if it emerges that there was a police report whenever the alleged abuse took place that corresponds, that can back up the lawsuit, then I might be more inclined to think that this is maybe a real situation. But right now, just like, okay, a $50 million lawsuit. And like Shannon Sharpe said, this is a lawyer who's known for ambulance chasing, if you will. Not saying that is what's happening right now, but when you combine the fact that, okay, there's a $50 million lawsuit, and at least as of right now, there's no publicly known police report. So my opinion, Micah, to answer your question, is I think that this is potentially a shakedown, an extortion attempt, based on the fact, like I said, there's no police report. There's a lawsuit for $50 million, and Shannon Sharpe immediately released text messages that kind of demonstrate like they might have this type of sexual kink relationship. And him, doing a countersuit, I'm leaning towards this is not what is being alleged.